All right, so for those of you that are new on our call, Monica Taylor, one-star diamond coach, founder of Team Persevere. Welcome to our weekly team call. We've got several new coaches. I think that they are all on here. I'm going to recognize them. We have Tiffany. She's a brand new coach that just hopped on board with us last week. We also have, who else? Leon had a couple new coaches, right, Jill? Kim, yes, Kim. Kim's on here too. Everyone wave at Kim and say hi. And I think we have one other new one that I'm forgetting. Megan was on here last week, I think, so I recognized her.
Yeah, Jennifer. I don't know if we recognized her last week.
Who?
Jennifer.
Yes, Jennifer. And then she can wave if she's on here as well. So we want to welcome you all. We're so excited to have you a part of the family. So a couple of announcements. Don't forget.
What about me?
You are like 3 weeks old. You're fine. And I can talk to her like that because she's my sister. So, all right. So do not forget a couple of announcements. Tomorrow is Wednesday, which we all know what that means. It's end of the cycle week, but it's also the end of the month. So tomorrow is the deadline for Success Club, and I know so many of you are like right there at 4 points, which I mean is just. All of us veteran coaches can tell you that there's nothing worse than ending the month at 4 points and knowing that I could find one person somewhere at the grocery store to, jump into our next challenge group. Also, it is the last day to qualify for leads for being an Emerald coach for October. So for those of you new coaches that don't know or don't understand that, in order to qualify for the free leads from Beachbody, you have to be an Emerald coach by the end of the month, which luckily this just happens to fall on a Wednesday as well. So if that's something that you're pushing hard for, make sure everything has to be done by, I always say 10:59 my time, which is Central Time, so figure out where you're at from there. But it's East Coast time, so make sure that whatever you're pushing for, that it cycles at East Coast time. I think that's all of the announcements I have. I'm going to hand it over to Brooke. So just a little bit about Brooke. She's got a whole little intro slide, so I'll let her do that. But her and I linked up together in one of the corporate groups and have really joined forces as success partners. We have had a lot of great ideas between the two of us. And are really helping push each other to reach our goals. So you guys know I always talk about how important it is to have success partners and what that can do for your business. And it doesn't have to be someone that's on your direct team. It can be someone that's not even any relation to you, which is our situation. So I'm going to hand it over to her and mute myself, and I will give you the mic.
Thanks, Monica. I'm super excited to be here. And yeah, we're not related at all.
No.
Not even close. Although I believe our uplines are both from Dallas, right?
They are, yes.
And we both live in the Dallas area. That is probably the biggest connection we've got. But I didn't even know that you existed until like a month ago.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's like what I love about Beachbody is meeting even more and more people. So anyway, and it wouldn't happen without Facebook. So we're going to talk a lot about Facebook tonight. I want to go ahead and share my screen. I am an off-the-cuff kind of random person. I'm not a public speaker. Dear God, I hope you're not expecting something crazy good, because I'm just going to kind of go for it.
Give yourself enough credit.
Yeah, I hope everyone's muted. I do hear some background noise.
I'm going to go through and mute everyone too if you're not. But if you're not, go ahead and make sure that you've muted yourself, please, since we are recording.
You got it, Monica? All right. I'll go ahead and get started. So what I want to talk tonight to you guys about, because I know that there are a lot of newer coaches on this call, and Monica asked me to talk to you guys about, how we teach social media, in our team. So that's kind of what we're going to go over tonight. And you have no idea who I am, so I'll give a brief introduction as to who I am. I am currently a 1-star diamond. I'm in 3-star qualifying. Cross your fingers. I'm a Success Club 5 legend. I've hit Success Club 5 30 months in a row. And I've been a coach since February of 2013. And my direct upline is Chris Reed. He is a 4-time elite coach. He was actually one of the speakers this year at Summit. And the way I met him was during my weight loss journey. That picture right there, I was a college athlete. I played soccer in college. And then, got married, had a child, decided we moved from Virginia to Dallas. And the stress of the move and living with my parents and not having a place right when we moved, that is when I put on weight. I was emotionally a mess. Stress can do things to your body. So here I was, 40 pounds overweight, and I basically needed to do something. I started running, which sounds crazy because I hated running, but now it's one of my favorite things. And the reason why I started running was because my husband had signed us both up to run a Walt Disney World half marathon. And they're like, Disney's the funnest place on earth, right? So plus they were really expensive. I couldn't not do the race. So I had to start training. In the process of my training and in my weight loss journey, I was in a Facebook group. They were called the Magic Milers, and it was a group formed of people who were running this race I was going to, and who ran Disney races. And so this is how I met Chris and his wife, Cody. I met them in this group, and, looking back on it, I don't want to say that, that coaches, that we go into groups and we look for people, but essentially we do go in, we find new friends on Facebook, people we want to connect with who are like us. And, Chris and Cody are my husband and I's, like, we go to hockey games together now. We are the best of friends. And so it wasn't just about, him getting 2 Success Club points off of me, which he did, but it's so much more than that. And, it's about, changing your mindset, about meeting new people and realizing that it's a lot more. I mean, without him, I wouldn't have lost, another 20 pounds, hit my goal weight. None of what I have now, would have happened if he hadn't have reached out to me. And so I thank him for that very much, looking back on it. I used to work part-time. About a month ago, I was able to retire from my job, and now I am a full-time Beachbody coach. So I was able, over the course of almost 3 years, to double my income of what I was making at work, and now I'm doing what I love. So anyway, moving on, enough about me. I want to talk, basically tonight, what I'm doing is I'm taking social media, 3 separate areas of social media, and what I could do 3 separate calls on, and I'm cramming it into one. So I'm really kind of just touching on the basics, and I'm happy. I want to get through it all, and then I'd rather have time at the end for questions. So forgive me if I'm going fast or talking too fast, but I'm happy to answer questions later and come back in and, Anyway, so branding. What is branding? Well, branding is about, how people see you publicly. And we're talking, I work mostly on Facebook. This would go for Instagram, but on Facebook. And I also want to say that this is about working off of your personal page, not a like page. Like pages are completely different, and that's a whole other call. So I just, especially for newer coaches, it's important to just focus on meeting new people and branding and all that, working Facebook, working your business from your personal page. So, you want to brand yourself as something, as someone, and you might not realize it, but your page is a storefront. So, how do people see you? And maybe you aren't sure how people see you, but it's a good thing to sit down and think about the 5 or 6 things that make you you. So what exactly is it about you that makes you you? And I know I just repeated myself, but like there's, for me, my brand has become, I'm a runner. I'm a fitness coach. I mean, a Beachbody coach, a fitness coach, that is certainly part of your brand. It's just not the only thing about me. So that's not what everyone wants to see, is constant Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. And that's why you want to put more of yourself out there. I love Starbucks. I'm a crazy cat lady, and I love animals and cats in particular. I do crazy. I was a huge fan of the selfie before I feel like everyone started doing selfies. So I've always been doing selfies. I've done crazy, lip sync videos. So those things, they're all part of me, and that's what I post about. So first thing is your profile picture you. It needs to be you. And, I tell my coaches, I love your husbands or your wives, and I love your kids, but unless your face is you, that tiny little box that people see, they're going to be like, well, which one is her? Which one is him? And, you need to make sure that people know who you are. Your cover photo, that's where you can put your kids. That's where you can put your pets, everything else that's about you. And this is where you can get creative and have a little fun with it. So again, if you think of your personal page as a storefront, okay, your profile picture needs to be you, and your cover photo can tell more of your story in different ways with pictures and words and quotes and all that fun stuff. I'll show you some examples. Second thing, third, fourth, fifth, are you public? A lot of coaches are definitely feel uneasy about being public, and having people that they don't know see their stuff. Honestly, I don't think I've heard of any coach. There's never been some horror story of anyone, stalking a coach or something, and something bad happens. I mean, I know you see and hear about the horror stories, but the chances of that really happening are low. And in order for you to really build a good business, you need to be public. You need to be able to, put yourself out there and meet new people. If you're, you can talk to Monica or your coach direct upline if you have concerns about that, and that would be maybe where you want to build your business on a like page. But I suggest going public. It's cool. So what are those 6 things that define you? Okay. If you were to go and follow me, you would definitely see me posting about those things I was mentioning before, pretty much consistently. And so what you need to do is figure out what those things are. It takes time to build your brand. You're going to be posting every day. We're going to talk about posting, but your brand could change, and that's okay. Women get pregnant. Hey, brand change. Suddenly you're a mom, maybe you decide to pick up running. Whoop, brand change. Suddenly I'm a runner. I ran my first 5K, couch to 5K. That's awesome. Maybe you run your first marathon. Maybe you do a triathlon. That's still on my bucket list. I don't know if it's on any of yours, but I would love to add that to my brand. So your brand can change, but consistently it's all about you. I just said that. So I know you already have homework, and we're like on the 3rd slide. So what I want you to do is write these things down about who you are, what you're about. And I want you to share them with your coach, and you need to make sure that your profile picture is a picture of you. You can take a nice, pretty little selfie, but you definitely need to do that, and make a great cover photo. Pickmonkey.com is awesome. And I've been using it for a while, for cover photos, for any kind of photo. It's not an app, unfortunately. You can only use it on your computer, but you can do so much with PicMonkey. Just make sure that when you save the picture, you save it as a PNG so that it comes out really, really crisp and clean. So I wanted to show you some examples of other coaches on my team and their, cover photos, just to give you an idea. I mean, they're all different. They all kind of are going to have a theme. As coaches, we're positive people. We're very much, going to, talk about motivation and inspiration and all that. So all of those elements are, kind of in this, in each of these cover photos, but you can see that they're all very different, and you can use tons of different apps and stuff to make these. So anyway, just wanted to give you a couple of examples. Okay, so now that you've figured out your brand and you're going to start posting about yourself and whatnot, you want to be adding friends on Facebook. So why? Well, obviously, as a newer coach, you're going to be reaching out to your friends and family that that you've met in person. Even if you went, to high school with them, it's been a while, they might be considered your warm market. But at some point in your business, you're going to run out of people to talk to unless you start reaching out into your cold market. And cold market means starting to add friends that you don't know yet and developing relationships with them, because you want to broaden your audience. Again, thinking of your personal page as a storefront, okay? You want what you post, you want people to see. You want people to see what you're posting and for them to say, hey, I like her, I like what she's posting, and, develop relationships. I'm scared of adding people I don't know. I have a lot of coaches who tell me this, and, I was the same way. The only thing I can say to this is that you don't have to add someone necessarily right away. When you meet someone, on Facebook in a group or on a page, you can kind of just get to know them that way first. A lot of this business, though, is getting out of your comfort zone and reaching out and trying to connect with new people. I feel like I'm repeating myself, Monica. I'm sorry. But it's like, I just can't, I guess maybe I can't stress it enough, or I just don't have notes. So what you can do, and what I did in the beginning, actually I still do it, you want to create weekly goals or monthly goals for adding friends. So let's say you have like 560 friends today. By Sunday, or by give yourself a week and say, okay, I want to be at 600 friends. And we're going to talk about all the ways that you can add friends, but you want to be careful of adding friends too fast. There is such a thing called Facebook jail, and I've only been in it once, luckily. But basically, when you get put in Facebook jail, Facebook thinks that you're a computer, some kind of computer thing, and if you're just friend request, and no one's accepting your friend request as fast as you're handing them out, or if someone reports you to be someone that they don't know, then that's bad, and you'll go to jail, and it's no fun. So this is why I'm sure part of your daily power hour that you guys talk about on your team is adding 3 to 5 new friends a day. That's all you need to do, 3 to 5 friends. It's not like you need to add 20 friends in a day, but if you get some if you add a couple friends and you find more, it's okay to add more than 3 to 5. You just don't want to add like 20 in one day. So most basic way of finding friends, is that when it pops up in your newsfeed or on your page, suggested friends. Facebook suggests friends that you might know someone based on your mutual friends. And then there's also this, friends of friends. I think it's kind of the same thing. I feel like it pops up in different ways. When I was a new coach and I was afraid of adding people I didn't know, one of the things I would do is, if I didn't have at least 10 mutual friends with this other person, then I wouldn't add them. So if you want to pick a number like that, if you're a little hesitant and want to start out slower, that's fine. But that's one way you can add to your friends list, just one. Based on common interests, okay? All across Facebook, there are groups and pages. So specifically related to your brand in particular, you're going to want to join groups that have interest that, you have an interest in. And it doesn't have to be about fitness. In fact, it's better if it's not, because again, you are a Beachbody coach, and yes, you love Shakeology and, Beachbody DVDs and helping people, all that jazz, but there's more to you than just that. So those are the kinds of groups you're looking for to get in. And what you do in these groups, and the same kind of goes for pages. If you like someone else's page, start interacting with people in the group. And that's like a huge part. You can't just join a group and then just, go through and friend people, because that's not going to work. You need to friend people that you start having a Facebook relationship with, so to speak. So comment on something. If you see somebody post something in a group and you're like, wow, that's awesome, or I totally agree with that, or that's an interesting point of view, I never thought of that, or I really like that person's dog, then comment on their picture, on whatever they say, reply just to them, like it and comment. And what happens is that as soon as they recognize your comment or you liking their stuff, that's when you can friend request them. So they're instantly going to see, like, if you think about it, in their notifications, they're going to say, oh, Brooke commented on your picture. Okay. You said, thank you. This person replies, thank you. And then all of a sudden Brooke sends you a friend request. Well, likely they will accept, right? I mean, because it might just be one little instance, but this is a great way to add people quickly by being active in a group, because they're not going to think you're a complete stranger. They know you because you commented on their stuff. So I hope that makes sense. And then what you do is when they accept your friend request, then you send them a private message and you say, thanks, appreciate you accepting my friend request. And this is where you just, I really loved what you said about that. You can talk more about their dog, whatever it is you want to say, but this is your chance to start a conversation with someone. And it most likely, almost 100% of the time, is not going to have anything to do with Beachbody. That day, probably the next day, or the day after that. I mean, conversations that, I have with people when I meet them, like you develop relationships with people. So don't think, okay, I got to friend someone and now I got to get them to get a challenge group and, get a challenge pack and join my challenge group. That's not how it works. So when we say add 3 to 5 friends a day, when we say send out, 3 to 5 invitations a day, these are all based on conversations that you've been having constantly. So you can see where the consistency and being consistent, even if it's in small numbers, adds up and makes a huge difference for your business. So I just made my own point. The point is starting new conversations with people, because that's essentially what you want to be doing. So when you're posting in a group, always, this is not when you comment, but this is when you actually post in a group. And you should post in a group that you're interested in. Make it relevant to the group topic. Okay. So if it's about dogs, don't go posting about, a banana you ate, or how great you had a salad for lunch and it was awesome. Makes no sense, right? Common sense. Never, ever, 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 ever post your website or a link to even a free, clean eating group. I know some coaches who do that. I personally don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should ever do something like that in a group. And the reason why is because people will see you as a spammer person. They will be like, I do not want to have anything to do with them. They're just trying to sell me something. And it's true. I mean, if you think about it, like you would probably say the same thing. You'd be like, ew. So don't ever post your website, even a picture like with your Beachbody coach, like Beachbody coach website. So, beachbodycoach.com/ whatever your username is. Just don't do it. So again, the point of connecting with people in groups is to connect with people like you. Not everyone is in the world, not everyone's like you, and that's okay, because that's just boring. So you want to attract people who are like you. I am not going to attract a lot of men. I'm not going to attract a lot of people who like art. I'm not an artistic person. I'm not creative. or music. I mean, I love to dance, but like, I don't sing, I don't play a musical instrument. Like, that's not my audience. So you have to, based on your brand and who you are, you need to be, talking to people who are like you. Okay. Like attracts like. And then if you see, like, the more you post in groups and are active in groups, then people are going to see you as someone, I don't want to say legit, but someone that they've, they see trust in you in a way. And you might start getting friend requests from people in that group just because they're like, oh, she seems like a cool girl. Maybe they go and check out your page. And since you're public, they can see it. And that's a good thing. So again, it's just about developing relationships. So a new audience. All right. Now you've got a new audience. Now I want to get into posting. I want to talk about jabs and hooks. You want to be posting on your personal page 3 to 5 times a day. Four of those posts should be about your brand, you, whatever you are about. And then one of those should be about Beachbody. I tell my coaches that, posting that you did a workout may or may not really count as a Beachbody post. Beachbody posts are usually my hooks, and we'll talk about those. But for the most part, I think it's okay to post, a picture, a post-workout selfie, totally fine. I think it's okay to post a picture of you and a friend, or that's about a bad example, but post a picture of you having lunch, and then your Shakeology cup is like, off on the side somewhere. Like, that's totally cool because it's like subtle, and it's not, you're posting about, what you're eating, but you're not saying anything about Shakeology. So if you don't have this book, highly, 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 highly recommend. It's an excellent book, not just about Facebook, but it gives you a guide on how to navigate social media and on all platforms, from Instagram to Twitter to Pinterest. So awesome. And some of them, and Tumblr. I don't even know what Tumblr is. God, I only have 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going. Wait, hold on. Okay, so jabs and hooks. Jabs are going to be, like I said, things that are just about you, your family, funny things, and whatnot. Hooks are really going to be more about the business. You want to inviting people to a challenge group, to be a part of the team, to check out, this clean eating group or whatever it is. I have examples coming. So basically, your jabs can't suck. Like, the whole purpose of learning how to create good content is because of this thing called the Facebook algorithm. So you want your posts to get likes, comments, and shares. And comments are better than likes in the Facebook algorithm, and shares are better than comments. So the more comments and shares and likes you get, the better edge rank you have. And the edge rank is, what puts you up in the news feed so that more people see your posts. Jabs need to do one of 3 things. They need to educate, empower, or entertain. Okay. So educate, you want to provide value for people, for your audience. Motivational quotes and stuff empower people. Entertaining is just, when I post my silly lip sync videos, that's entertainment. People love that. I have no idea why, because I'm horrible, but that's kind of what I do to jab. And you want to have visually appealing content for sure. So you got to have a good picture with it. You want your post to end up in the most news feeds as possible. And that's that edge rank that we're talking about. So that's why you want to make it visually appealing. You want to engage. Again, just think likes, comments, and shares. That's huge, because the point is that you're setting your audience up for a hook, for the big right hook. And that's when you're going to come at them with, something about the business. So how can you be a great hooker? Well, first of all, you need to have a good call to actions. And jabs should have call to actions too, but hooks have to. So things like click like or comment below or message me. These are things that are going to notice that they're engaging your audience to interact with you. And that's huge because, again, it's good for your edge rank, and that's a good thing. Make sure that your picture is visually eye-catching, okay? And timing is everything. The best time for hooks is normally between 7 and 9 p.m., but sometimes a 10 a.m. post can work, especially for moms with kids. Even at nap time, a lot of moms who have little kids that nap, that's an awesome time to post a hook about the business because that's when that mom's audience, all the kids are sleeping, right? So typical hook content, okay, is going to be about Shakeology, a workout selfie, a sweaty pic, but inviting to a challenge group. Okay, so I actually would combine that with a challenge group post, posting a helpful tip, saying these are the types of things that we do in our challenge groups. Getting people interested and excited about joining a group. It's okay to show off, your earnings in a creative way and say, hey, thank you, Beachbody. I paid my electrical bill all by myself this week. My husband's so excited, and show a picture of you jumping in the air with your bill. Like, that's cool. And showing, people how your lifestyle has changed because of Beachbody. Those are all great hook ideas. So here are a few of mine. I don't know. They're all different. I'm crazy, so I make crazy faces. Like I said, I just posted this hook last night about, living your passion. Before and afters are excellent. They're a great way to kind of get people to be like, wow, what she's doing, is working, and she's sticking with it. After 3 years, she's still doing it. She's still drinking Shakeology. She's still working out with Beachbody, and I retired, so I made a want to be a girl boss post. And this picture down here, I don't have anything written on it, but it could be, I could write something on it. And that was a leader retreat that, I was able to go on. And that's a lifestyle post. So being able to go to Utah and hike in the mountains with other leaders on my team, that's awesome. And that's a great way to get people interested in what we're doing. So Paddington Bears, you want to keep the algorithm working in your favor, and it can for days. You'll find that people will like a post or comment on a post that you made the day before, sometimes two. And that's because every time, even a day later, if somebody likes it or comments on your post, it jumps right back up into the front of the newsfeed. So that's why it's so important to get people to like and comment, on your stuff. So, we have in our Working Coach Basics groups, your success partner, whoever it is, if you're needing help with a post and saying, hey, I'm not getting a lot of likes on my hook, comments or whatever, just say, hey, can you go and comment something on my hook? Easy. And that's going to help get your post back up into the newsfeed. So we like to call them, Paddington partners, Paddington Bears. So go pad my post, please. So almost done, I promise. Things people hate seeing on Facebook. So tons of hashtags. It's Facebook, it's not Instagram. You can be funny with them, but not cool. The same pic over and over and over again. You have to get creative. Salesy posts, product placement, you don't want anything to look like an ad. Stock photos, using photos from corporate that have, the Beachbody logo on them and stuff. I mean, as a new coach, it's easy because you're like, wow, that's awesome. I saw a new coach actually post the new performance line, posted a picture of that and was like, I love my Energize and my Hydrate and whatever. They're awesome, something. Well, I'm going to scroll right past that in my newsfeed like that. I'm just going to say, oh, it's an ad, or that's, whatever. So you want to post things that are about you. And you don't want to be overusing collages. Sometimes, just doing one picture stands out more. So remember that you want to keep everything fresh. you want to make it about you because you want to attract people who are like you. You don't want to attract people who aren't, going to be like you. That's just not cool. So people are going to understand your story and get a feel for you if you keep mixing it up, posting your brand, posting stuff like you. And I have other random thoughts. Make sure you're adding value. Okay. So don't just post, hey, I went to the bathroom. Sweet. Who cares? It's just makes no sense. Don't be negative. Okay. We are positive people by nature. We're coaches. It's a positive culture. So just don't be negative. If you're having a bad day, then post about how you thought about what a crummy mood you were in and you turned it around, made it a choice. And now you're grateful for what it taught you. Okay. It's politics season again, and don't post about it. Just don't. You can comment on other people's thoughts if you feel strongly one way or another, but the reason why you shouldn't is because you're going to alienate half your audience. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I don't even know what I am, but I don't post about it because I know that if I say one thing, I'm going to alienate half my audience just by posting something. Does that make sense? So just don't post about it. How to address negative comments on your wall. You try and turn them around. You try and stay positive. If you have to, you delete them. Simple. Okay, and we have less than a minute. So if you want to follow me, that would be great. I really appreciate you letting me talk to your team. I'm happy to get back on, Monica, if you want.
Thanks. Yeah, we can. If y'all, I know we have several new coaches, so if y'all want to go back on for a couple questions, we can just, y'all know the deal. Just click the same link as soon as it kicks us off.
I'm totally willing to do that.
Brooke can answer some questions. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Even as a veteran coach, it's sometimes great to have a refresher for a lot of those things. So I hope that you guys got a lot of great info out of that. It's probably going to kick us off in like 30 seconds. So,
sorry.
No, you're fine. I knew it was going to go up to the minute. So I'm going to stop recording.